Have a motion to approve the appointment of David Yamamoto as Public Works Director.
Dave's been around a long time. He's the guy that I went to see to finish our Puni Center. He's the guy that I went to see to renovate this whole county building and many other projects. I promised him only this, that and in front of the others of his department as well as the cabinet, that we will all work together very hard to help him as much as we can. I know there's a lot of public out there that think there's, people clamoring to take certain jobs, and certain jobs there are. But public works, as you know, there's regulation that you have to be a certified engineer. And that's one of those complex departments. There's so many divisions to bring in someone so-called off the streets that are not familiar with county. Takes a steep learning curve. And I'm so very glad that, Dave has agreed to work with us for the next couple of years. I know one thing about Dave outside of his professional work, outstanding, knowledge and professional work, he won't speak his mind. I'll give you two funny examples. Years ago when he was working there and I was in my first term or so, I was trying to develop a map and I wanted a picture of a nene bird, our symbol. And we couldn't find one on a computer, and in a meeting he passed word, just tell him, Mayor, find a duck. I thought, what an arrogant son of a gun. Naturally, he was joking. Not too recently in the Kilauea eruption, it was always cold there early in the morning. We couldn't control the temperature. So I came in one morning and I said, my God, it's cold in here. Dave, you from Public Works, can't you control this damn temperature? And he looks at me and says, buy a jacket. So he'll tell me off when he has to. I ask of you a confirmation of this man. I think his work record shows that he's a very good engineer. I think his work record will show he's committed to doing a good job, like some of the public servants that left. He has been a very, very good public servant, and he will be continued a very good public servant administrator. I ask for your consideration and confirmation of him. I need him. I think this county needs him, and I think he will do good for us. Thank you very much.
So, and I should have asked Mr. Yamamoto to come up as well, but you got to listen to all the good things that Mayor had to say about you, but we'd like to ask you if you could say a few words as well before I open it up to our council members.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. I'm not one for too much words, but I wanted to first of all thank Mayor Harry Kim for the nomination to this very rare and privileged position to work for Hawaii Island, our home. I'd also like to thank my wife, Michelle, and my son, Sia, for their support. And lastly, I want you all to take note that I came prepared with my white hair and don't have to get any more whiter, but now concerned that I might start losing it in mass numbers. With that, thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to open it up to council members.
Please don't hold it against me, but take the opportunity right now to address those harsh criticisms of many technical experts in the community who have had to get through a number of plans through the department.
Since working for the building division and more so as the, when the building chief, we've been working continuously toward trying to improve the building permit process, the previous administration, we purchased a new software that has some challenges, and so we are now replacing that software, and also changing some of the processes that we've done. One, we've brought back the permit intake process to building division, and we're making some further changes to go to a one permit system, and recognize that the permit process has a big impact on the construction industry, people wanting to build their restaurant, their house, and want to move ahead with their plans. But this permit process is somewhat stifling and confusing, maybe, so we're trying to help educate them before they come for their application, so they have everything prepared that can make their permit process seamless.
We feel marginalized, either we approve a person, after representations made by him or her, and then all of a sudden, we're forgotten. We had an awful, I had, and maybe, I don't want to speak for any of the other council members, but several of us had an awful experience just the other day with a department head who wasn't forthcoming with information. We weren't giving directions. We're just asking for information. And that person said that there was a certain chain of command that they had to go through. And, for us to be able to make good decisions, as Ms. Leloy always says, we have to have information. Yeah. We may not have direct supervision over department heads, but, by all means, at least give us information. Are you willing to provide information to us?
Well, the information I give you is always going to be truthful.
Yeah, of
and
course.
so, knowing
Will you
where,
withhold information from us?
not deliberately, no.
Yeah, okay. And first of all, I'm saying all of this. I'm going to be voting for your appointment, but there are some things that got to be laid on the table, and it's not just germane only to you. It's to any department head. Now, as it relates specifically to your department, there was a policy that was set into place by one of the three department heads, public works directors, where the council couldn't talk directly to division heads. Are you going to have any policy in that regard? Because it makes it very difficult for us.
I haven't considered that policy, and will consider, but I if anything, I would ask the division chief to, if I did give them or felt it was appropriate, I think it's appropriate that they be able to speak freely and
Good.
speak honestly.
Yeah, good. That's all we ask.
Yeah.
There was actually a policy in place.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was part of that policy.
Yeah, right. I know. No, but I just wanted to see if that policy is, still going to be in place. And it hasn't been in place, over the last year or so.